What blessings did God promise to Israel under the Old Covenant? Could they rejoice in good things which God gave them, a land flowing with milk and honey? If they were faithful to the covenant, would God put them high above all the nations? What blessings does Jesus promise? Let's begin in Deuteronomy 26. What were the Israelites to do with the first fruits of the land they just inherited? When you arrive in the land that the Lord your God is about to give you as an inheritance, take possession of it and settle in it. Gather all the first produce of the ground that you harvest from your land that the Lord your God is about to give you. Place it in a basket and bring it to the place where the Lord your God will choose to establish his name. Approach the priest who's in charge at that time and say to him, I acknowledge today to the Lord your God that I've arrived in the land that the Lord promised our ancestors to give us. Then the priest will take the basket from you and place it in front of the altar of the Lord your God. What are they to say as they offer to the Lord the first fruits of the land? And you shall speak and say before the Lord your God, Assyrian or Aramaean, ready to perish was my father, and he went down into Egypt and sojourned there with a few, and became there a nation, great, mighty, and populous. And the Egyptians evil entreated us, and afflicted us, and laid upon us hard bondage. And when we cried to the Lord God of our fathers, the Lord heard our voice, and looked on our affliction, and our labor, and our oppression. And the Lord brought us forth out of Egypt with a mighty hand, and with an outstretched arm, and with great terribleness, and with signs and with wonders. And he's brought us to this place, and has given us this land, even a land that flows with milk and honey. And now behold, I brought the first fruits of the land, which you, O Lord, have given me. And you shall set it before the Lord your God, and worship before the Lord your God. And you shall rejoice in every good thing which the Lord your God has given to you, and to your house, you and the Levite, and the stranger that's among you. When they had paid the poor tithe, the tithe of the third year, what blessing could they claim? When you finish paying all the tithe of your produce in the third year, the year of tithing, then you shall give it to the Levite, to the sojourner, to the orphan, and to the widow, that they may eat within your gates and be satisfied. Then you shall say before Yahweh your God, I have purged the sacred portion from my house, and I've also given it to the Levite, and the sojourner, the orphan, and the widow, according to all your commandments which you've commanded me. I've not trespassed against or forgotten any of your commandments. I've not eaten of it while mourning, nor have I purged any of it while I was unclean, nor have I given any of it to the dead. I've listened to the voice of Yahweh my God. I've done according to all that you've commanded me. Look down from your holy habitation, from heaven, and bless your people Israel, and the ground which you've given to us, a land flowing with milk and honey, as you swore to our fathers. What promises did God make to Israel under the Old Covenant? This day the Lord your God commands you to perform these statutes and ordinances. Therefore you shall be careful to perform them with all your heart and with all your soul. Today you've declared the Lord to be your God, and that you'll walk in his ways and keep his statutes, his commandments, and his ordinances, and listen to his voice. And the Lord has today declared you to be his people, his personal possession, just as he promised you, and that you are to keep all his commandments, and that he'll put you high above all the nations which he's made, for glory, fame, and honor, and that you shall be a consecrated people to the Lord your God, just as he has spoken. By contrast, does Jesus focus on blessings for spiritual characteristics? Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they'll be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they'll inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they'll be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they'll be shown mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they'll see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they'll be called children of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. What blessings did God promise to Israel under the Old Covenant? Could they rejoice in good things which God gave them, a land flowing with milk and honey? If they were faithful to the covenant, would God put them high above all the nations? What blessings does Jesus promise? You decide.